Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and the blessings and the mercy of God be with you all. We are very fortunate tonight to have with us one of the leading scholars in North America on Islam in the West and Muslims in the West and in North America, Dr. Yvonne Haddad. It's very exciting for us to have her present with us tonight, and I'm very grateful to all of you for participating and being with us this evening. My name is Yasser Haddara. I'm a professor of electrical engineering. I will be your MC for this evening. And I'm going to start right off by asking one of our students from the Muslim Student Association on campus, Abdullah and Dijani, to come up and recite a couple of verses from the Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فأتت به قومها تحمله قالوا يا مريم لقد جئت شيئا فريا يا أخت هارون ما كان أبوك امرأ سوء وما كانت أمك بغيا فأشارت إليه قالوا كيف نكلم من كان في المهد صبيا قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا وجعلني مباركا أينما كنت وأوصاني بالصلاة والزكاة ما دمت حيا وبرا بوالدتي ولم يجعلني جبارا شقيا والسلام علي يوم ولدت ويوم أموت ويوم أبعث حيا صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you very much, Abdullah. The passage that he chose to recite tonight is a passage in the Quran of deep reverence for the persons of Mary and Jesus Christ. It speaks of Mary bearing her child into the town, and the folks of the town folk turn to her and say, Mary, what have you there? Your father was not an evil man, your mother was not an evil woman. And she points at the child. And they say, how may we speak with a baby in the cradle? So he spoke. And he says, I am a servant of God. He has given me the book. And he has made me a prophet. He has made me blessed wherever I am. And he has admonished me to pray and to give charity for as long as I live. Dutiful and kind to my mother. He has not made me a tyrant, nor one who shall suffer a miserable fate. And peace is upon me the day I was born, the day I die, and the day that I come back to life. Tonight's talk is the first annual Sharjah lecture on Islamic studies. It is an initiative of the Sharjah Chair on Global Islam here at McMaster. I will have more to say about the position and about Dr. Liaquat Takim, who is the holder of the chair, in a few moments. But one of the important aspects, the important components of this chair here at McMaster is to create a discourse that brings together and creates this bridge between the academy and the community. And so today, as we started, Dr. Takim wanted to invite the students to participate and wanted them to share part of their reading with us, as we have heard. In keeping with this, we're really fortunate again to have the support of the university. This chair was an initiative of the senior administration here at McMaster. There was a lot of work that went into creating the chair, into raising funds for the chair, and in supporting this new program and this new initiative here at McMaster. And again, we have with us tonight a number of individuals representing the university and the university administration. And we'll begin with Dr. Travis Craker, who is the chair of the Religious Studies Department, who will share with us a few thoughts.
Thank you, Yasser. It's a pleasure to be here tonight and to welcome you on behalf of the Department of Religious Studies. For decades, Islamic studies was a major lacuna in our department, and until the Sharjah Chair in Global Islam was established, we had been hoping to be able to devote more of our attention to the study of Islam as a major religion. And so we're pleased that the Sharjah Chair in Global Islam was established, which allows us to study the Islamic religion, the Muslim peoples and cultures in the context of globalization and the modern condition. And we're also very pleased that Professor Liaquat Takim has become the inaugural holder of the chair. He's teaching undergraduate and graduate courses for us. He's attracting graduate students. And this evening he's inaugurating a lecture series on global Islam with a leading scholar on Islam in the West, Dr. Yvonne Haddad, and I know it will be an interesting talk to the university community and also to the wider constituency. So we're very pleased for this event this evening, and I welcome you warmly on behalf of the department. I believe that Professor Takim will introduce the visiting speaker, but first a couple of words from the acting dean, Professor Roy Kane. Thank you.
Well, so I'll say the same thing again. Thank you very much, Travis. I know Travis has to run, unfortunately, because he does teach a seminar Wednesday evenings, and he did his level best to be with us for this evening, but it just wasn't to be. So I'm very grateful that he was able to just come and share with us these words of welcome. As he indicated, we also have with us Dr. Peter Smith, the Assistant Vice President Academic on behalf of the Provost, Eileen Bush-Vishniak. We also have Dr. Roy Kane, the Acting Dean of Social Studies, and speaking on his own behalf and on behalf of the President of McMaster, Patrick Dean.
Well, good evening. I'm pleased as Acting Dean of the Faculty of Social Science to welcome you on behalf of both the faculty and on behalf of the President of the University. Dr. Patrick Dean was unfortunately unable to attend this evening's event, but he asked me to extend his warm greetings and his best wishes for the evening. And it's, I must say, great to see so many people have been able to come out and join us this evening. Before asking Dr. Takim to introduce our speaker for the evening, I just wanted to say a few words about the Sharjah Chair in Global Islam. The chair was funded by an endowment from the ruler of Sharjah. The aim of the endowed chair is to examine Islam through a modern and global lens, and to increase knowledge and understanding of the principles, the ideals, and the ethics of Islam. Dr. Liaquat Takim brings a wealth of experience to the Sharjah Chair and to the Department of Religious Studies. A former imam, Dr. Takim published more than 70 articles on a wide range of topics that, just to pick a few, he's studied Islam in America, dialogue in post-9/11 America, war and peace in the Islamic tradition, Islamic law, Islamic mystical traditions, just to name a few. He has a recent book on Shiism in America and an earlier book on heirs of the Prophet, charisma and religious authority in Shiite Islam. He teaches a wide range of courses on Islam and comparative religion, and he's been a great addition to the Department of Religious Studies. I know as Sharjah Chair in Global Islam, Dr. Takim aims to increase education and public outreach on Islam, and importantly in a university, to increase dialogue between religious groups on campus. And I think this inaugural lecture will be a wonderful start to achieving these goals. So I turn to Dr. Takim to do the introductions, but again, on behalf of the faculty and on behalf of the university president, welcome.
Sorry, before I let Dr. Takim come up here, I will take just a couple more minutes of your time. We have, as I mentioned, a number of guests from both McMaster and from the community. I'm not going to try and list all of them because I will wind up forgetting one person, and that's never a good idea. But I just want you to look around. Just take a minute and look around you, look around the room. And this is a fantastic turnout. I'm grateful to every one of you for being here. If you look at the faces and if you try and kind of read into the faces, you'll see the diversity of the audience that's come here, and it is indicative of the interest in this field of study, in building bridges, in understanding communities, and in strengthening our community. And when I say our community, I'm speaking of the broader Hamilton community and our citizenship here in Canada. So this is already a success, and I'm very grateful to Dr. Takim for his initiative and for getting this going. We have people here from different faculties, from the Institute on Globalization and the Human Condition, from community centers, Islamic centers, from students and student groups, people that are just interested in building bridges and strengthening communities. It's a great diversity of people in the audience tonight. And as I said, that's a great step and a great success already. Dr. Haddad will also have a second talk tomorrow night, so I hope that most of you can come back for that talk. That one will be in the Health Sciences Center, and the title of that talk is The Emergence of the New Islamic Generation, the Agenda of Muslim Youth in the Middle East and North America. People will be handing out these little cards as you go out tonight. And that talk is sponsored by Cordoba House, which is a project of the Muslim Association of Canada. It's a think tank and library devoted to studying Islam and Muslims in Canada and the role of faith in public life. And with that, I will bring up Dr. Takim. As Roy already mentioned, he is a well-respected scholar on a variety of topics related to Islam and Muslims. He is working on a third book right now on reform, ijtihad and reform in Islam, and we certainly look forward to many more contributions from Dr. Takim. So please, come on.
Good evening and assalamu alaikum. One of my aims when I took up the position of the Sharjah Chair was to bridge the gap between the ivory towers of McMaster University and the local Muslim and non-Muslim communities. And judging by the crowd today, I think we have just started that process, and I hope that we can continue it in the future. For a long time, Islam was seen by many academics as a kind of an Eastern or Middle Eastern phenomenon. And when scholars studied Islam, they did so primarily from the Orientalist point of view. How the Orientalists articulated Islam was how many scholars viewed it. Even though Islam has been a North American phenomenon since the 16th, some would say 17th centuries, but it was never studied as an American or North American phenomenon. However, that changed in the 1980s. The change came about because of one professor who decided to tell the Muslim side of the story. Professor Yvonne Haddad did an initial survey and that translated into a book which she co-authored with Loomis, and that book was called, it was a survey of Muslim values and Muslims in America. That was kind of the beginning point of the study of Islam as a North American phenomenon. What Professor Haddad did was to make the non-Muslim public aware of the increasing presence of the Muslim community in North America, and she went further. She made them aware of the prejudices, the intimidation, discrimination, sometimes hatred that was directed at the Muslim community. It is not an exaggeration to say that she has written about and spoken about the Muslim community more and had advanced the Muslim cause more than the Muslims themselves have done. To give you an example, when she was asked once about the hijab, I was reading about it today, she said, the women have sort of become the banner of Islam in North America. The little scarf is saying, I am Muslim and I have a presence here in America. Indeed, it's not an exaggeration to say that Professor Yvonne Haddad is a pioneer in the study of American Islam. For over 2 decades, she has been a strong advocate and voice for American Muslims. Whenever I think of Islam in America, the first scholar that comes to mind is Professor Haddad. You may have heard her speak about Islam in America, the BBC, NPR, CNN, and she has spoken out against Islamophobia. She has written, edited, and co-authored more works on American Islam than any other scholar that I know of, and I could go on and on and on. When I asked her for a CV, it was like 26 pages. And I'm like, well, mine is 14 pages, and I thought that was a lot. So that tells you a lot. I simply cannot enumerate all her accomplishments. Safe to say that she has written, co-authored, or edited more than 25 books, and written more than 100 articles in various encyclopedia, journals, etc. She is currently the professor of the history of Islamic Christian-Muslim relations at the Center for Muslim-Christian Understanding at Georgetown University. She has been awarded various distinguished awards. I could go on and on. However, to cut it short, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and a pleasure to welcome Professor Yvonne Haddad to the podium. Please join us.